Hello, 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 everybody. Hello, everyone. Okay, I had forgot to cut my data on, so I wanted to make sure I did that so that I don't have any any dragging or lagging or you know. Y'all know how it does. Y'all know how it does. I want to say good evening. Good evening to everyone. Today is Wednesday. It is hump day. That means we are halfway through the week. Well, for those of y'all who have to work on the weekends, sorry for ya. But Saturdays are my boo. Yes, they are. Saturdays are my boo. It seems like you just sleep better on Saturdays. No matter what, you just sleep better. Like, I know it's Saturday. But I just want to say good evening to everybody. I hope everyone has had a good day so far on this Wednesday and that everything has been going according to the way that it needs to go. And if not, just pause, take a breath, and pray. And I promise you, things will get better, guys. Things will get better. Be encouraged knowing that the week is almost over. Yes, the week is almost over. So I was a little late this evening, guys. I decided at the last minute, said, I better get up and go use the bathroom just in case I have to. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't have to take a potty break or anything like that. So we are going to give people about 5 minutes or so to come on in, and then we just gonna go ahead and begin. I hope you guys are being your best you. I hope you guys are practicing being a better person, that you guys are being kinder, that you are smiling more, that you are being more generous, that you are being more considerate and more courteous of other people and their feelings. I hope that everything is going well for you, for your family. I pray that each and every one of you guys, my jewels, my gems, I pray that each and every one of y'all are doing well. I'm on live. Oh, I pray that each and every one of y'all are doing well. And I pray that you guys will continue to be blessed, each and every one of your families. Before we even get started tonight, y'all, I just wanted to say, I'd already said good evening to everybody. So good evening as you come in, guys. I just wanted to say that, we hear it often said, y'all, love people while you have the opportunity. Be sure to let your loved ones know that you love them. Be sure to let them know that you care. Just surround yourself with positive energy and just give off so much radiation, so much light. Just be that for somebody, because somebody is going through so much and all they need is a little peace. All they need is a smile. All they need is a hug. So you guys be sure to practice being kind, practice loving one another. We do enough tearing each other down. We have enough violence going on without us even having to be involved in it. So I want you guys to make sure that you're practicing doing what it is that you need to do, not causing the problem, not helping to create the problem or to even keep the problem going, like I call them pot stirrers. So we want to be the peace. We definitely want to be the peace. So I know y'all say, oh, it's easy to say. It's easy to say. But y'all, I live in this same life y'all live in. And I know how hard it is to be somebody's peace all the time. I know how hard it is to remain positive when the rest of the world is falling down and all your pieces are falling apart. I know how hard it is to remain positive. But just having that negative energy and that negative attitude, it's not going to get you very far. It's not going to take you anywhere. I've said before that now is the time for you, if you have an idea, if you have a business you want to pursue, if you have a craft that you want to perfect, we have so much time on our hands. We have so much talent that we waste, that we just sit on, that we aren't doing anything with. So take up those hobbies that you once said you would do. Y'all remember when you were all in high school? Some of us, should I say, is a little bit further back than some of us, but I can remember over 20 years ago when I was in high school and I was determined that I was going to be a lawyer and I was going to be a judge and it was going to lead me to the Supreme Court and I wasn't going to stop until I got there. Well, life had a few more different detours for me than I expected. Life had a different plan, but I started having children. And so we started putting those dreams on the back burners. We started putting those talents and those desires on the back burner. And we started to just live life according. But now is the opportunity. Like myself, my children are adult now, so there's a lot more freedom on my hands. I'm not having to run to this game or run to that game or have so many opportunities that I have to be a part of. Now I have a lot of spare time on my hands. So with the spare time, I can take up things and talents and all the things that I've once dreamed of and all the things that I wanted to do. And I can start crafting those things. I can start perfecting my craft and just using my talents for the right thing. Because one thing about our talents is that God gives us accordingly. And some of us are given just a few, some of us are given more than the other. But if you do nothing with them, then nothing comes back in return. If you just sit on your talent, then you have nothing in return. Like, to me, that's like a slap in God's face. That's like not being appreciative. If your parent was to buy you a toy and you would never play with that toy, or you never had any dealings with that toy, or if your significant other bought you a gift, maybe some perfume or some cologne, and you never wore it, or they would feel like you were ungrateful or you were unappreciative. But do you guys think that God feels that way also? When he's saying, I've given you so many talents, I expected you to go out and explore the world and use your talents that I had given you, and you're doing nothing but sitting on them. You complaining every single day talking about you can't do this, you can't do that, or you're looking at somebody else's life and considering that because they have this talent and this talent and this talent that they are better than you. You're beneath them, or, well, look at what I've been through. Nobody would want to listen to me. What can I say? Nobody would, people know my story. People know my life. They don't want to listen. They won't take no advice from me. You would be surprised, guys, at the people that need to hear from you. You'd be surprised at the people who need to hear your testimony, the people who need to know what you've been through. So that's the reason why I'm not ashamed to share my story now. There was a time I used to be. I didn't want to tell anybody what I was going through. I didn't want to express to anyone whenever I was sad, whenever I was upset, or, any of those emotions that would have people look at us in a different light. I didn't want to expose those because I felt like that was just too much vulnerability, and in that vulnerability, I felt like people were going to mistreat it. People weren't going to handle it right. People were going to use my vulnerability against me. So I tucked it away and I kept it hidden. And in doing so, I created habits that were not healthy for me. And that's exactly what we have going on, because you're trying to fill a void. You're trying to have somebody, have something or someone feel that missing part of you, and you don't know what it is. So you're trying all these different things so that they can feel that void for you, but nothing seems to fill it. You cannot get the satisfaction that you're trying to get from this void that you're trying to fill. So you go out and you try something else, and you try something else, and you try something else, and all these bad habits wind up leading you down the wrong path into the wrong places, which are, usually a dark place. But just because you don't want to use the talents that God has given you. So I want to use the talent that God has given me. I want to explore each and every talent. I want to creatively use these talents and help people to understand that it's okay. It's okay. Like, none of us have life figured out. None of us have it 100%. I can't tell you what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't have that gift. I can't tell you how life is going to end or how your children are going to end. I can't do any of those things for you. But all I can is share my story with you in hopes that it will encourage you to do whatever it is that you need to do, to not be afraid, to not be ashamed. When we were young in the children's choir at church, we used to sing a song that says, "I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ." And when you're young, you're just singing, and you're just singing loud as you can, and you just want to be heard. But when you become older and you start to walk in life and experience different things, those songs start to manifest, and you start to understand exactly what those words mean. Those songs then start to minister to you and to your life. And they are saying to me now, don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid to speak out, to speak up. He made us, he created us so that we would stand apart. We are in the world, but we're not of the world. So it's okay to be different. How many times did we hear that? Good evening to everyone who's just come into the room. All my gems, all my jewels. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How many times did we hear that it's okay to not be the popular kid? It's okay to not do what the crowd is doing, or not to fall up under peer pressure. But when you're young, you don't understand that it's okay to be that way. But once you start to live life and you start to experience these different things, then you're saying, it's okay. I want to stand out. I should stick out like a sore thumb. I shouldn't fit in with the wrong crowd, because if I do fit in with the wrong crowd, I'm doing the wrong things. I'm definitely doing the wrong things. But that's just part of learning to be a better you, using each and every gift and talent that God has given you to be a better you. That's what we're talking about this week, being a better you. Being a better you. And Sunday, we talked about being a better you and being nicer and being more kinder, because being nicer and being more kinder and being more positive is going to lead you down the road to being a better you. Monday, we talked about being a better you, and we talked about being more motivational and just being that light that somebody needs. You don't want to be the person that's always pushing somebody over the edge. You don't want to be the straw that's breaking the camel's back all the time, guys. Sometimes we need that peace. Sometimes I need that comfort that feels like I can come to you. I can lay down all my heavy burdens. I can vent. I can feel safe that it's not going to go anywhere. And I feel protected that you love me enough to come to me, to talk to me. All those things somebody needs. Somebody needs that. Right now, today, somebody needs that. Somebody could have walked past you and you thought that they had a whole attitude, but they didn't even know what was going on. They are in a totally different world. They may be in darkness, because one thing about when we're going through things, we still have to deal with life. Going through these different problems, having these different issues, it does not stop life. I wish it did sometime. I wish life was kind of like a VCR where you could press the pause button. Let me deal with this issue first. But no, the way it would work is if I have this issue, then I'm going to have this issue, and then here comes another issue. So you are just piled and piled and piled with issues, which leave you standing like, what do I do next? So somebody needs that peace, guys. And the part of being a better you is giving them that peace. Giving them that peace. So tonight, y'all, I wanted to talk about vengeance and forgiveness. I wanted to talk about vengeance and forgiveness. I wanted to definitely talk about forgiveness because forgiveness is a stain on your heart, y'all. There are people in this world who need your forgiveness. They need it. They need it. They need it. But guess what? They don't even know that they need it. There are people in this world that you need to forgive. You need to. Things happen in our lives, whatever the case may be. Things happen in each and every one of our lives. Some of us deal with other things. Some of us deal with a lot. Some of us had one thing happen. Some of us, whatever the case may be, it doesn't negate that things happen in our life. When things happen in your life, it hurts. We're human, guys. We are full of emotions. We are full of feelings. We are human. So being human, being full of all these emotions, we sometimes don't know how to control them. We sometimes do not know how to control these emotions. And whenever we're going through something, whenever we're dealing with these emotions, we deal with them the best way that we know how to deal with them. Sometimes it's learned behavior. Sometimes we deal with our issues the way we learn to deal with issues. If you grew up in a household where instead of talking about a problem, you guys fought or you hit one another, then in your life, you're going to think that fighting solves your issues. That if I can punch somebody hard enough, then they're going to respect me. Those are learned behaviors. Those are learned behaviors. If you grew up in a house where maybe they turn to alcohol, they turn to drugs, they turn to gambling, they turn to food, they turn to sex, they turn to whatever the case may be to deal with the issues of life, then you can pick up those habits too. You may find yourself turning to those different habits. One thing I always say about life, though, is that it doesn't come with a how-to guide. Neither one of us was born and got a book that told us how to live life. They didn't give us directions, blueprints. They didn't tell us this is the way you should do things. This is the way you should do things. No, don't do them this way, because if you do them this way, it could lead to this. None of us did. Each and every day we live, we learn by trial and error. We learn by trial and error. And when I say we learn by trial and error, that means that I'm going to try it. It may work. It may not work. If it does work, great. Kudos for me. If it doesn't work, OMG, I got to try something different now because that didn't work. So we all live by trial and error. Nobody has the book of life except for God himself. So none of us know how to live this life. So if I mess up, if I make a mistake, if I break your heart, if I break your trust, if I do something to directly hurt you, it's your responsibility to come to me and let me know that I hurt you. It's your responsibility to come to me and let me know that I hurt you. The reason I said that is because I've always been the type that if my feelings got hurt or if somebody said or done something to me, I wouldn't say, you hurt my feelings. I wouldn't go to them and talk to them and tell them what was going on in my life, what was going on with me. I would lash out angrily. If you said something about me, I said something about you. If you talked about me, I talked about you. If you made me cry, I tried to make you cry. You know, that eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth mentality. A lot of us live by that. A lot of us live by that. But when you become older, when you become more mature, then you begin to understand that that's not the right mentality to gravitate towards. And a lot of us are still dealing with childhood issues because we haven't forgiven those that were directly responsible for our childhood. But one thing we have to remember too, they didn't get a book of life either. They didn't get a book of life either. And it doesn't mean that because I forgive this person, it automatically gives them permission to hurt me again. That's not true. When you forgive them, it lifts that weight off of you. Do you know that unforgivingness is a weight? It is a pressure, and it can lay on top of you and literally smother you, take your breath. It can choke you out. It can take you away from here. It will stress you out to the point of losing your hair, physically making you sick, because you just can't stand somebody, because you're just so mad at somebody, because you just hate somebody so seriously. But when you forgive them, when you show them that they have no power over you, that's what forgiveness is for. Forgiveness is not just to go around and talk about and say, oh, I forgive you and I give you permission to hurt me again. No, forgiveness is saying you don't have any power over me. I don't have to go and get vengeance. I don't have to get back at you, because there are times when people can hurt you so bad that you'll be sitting in your house and literally thinking about what you're going to do to them. Oh no, I got to get my lick back. I'm going to do X, Y, Z. I'm going to make sure I call this person. I'm going to call this person. Oh yeah, I know what they do. I'm going to call their job. I'm going to call, people use these avenues like Child Protective Services and IRS, and they use those avenues to do bad against people because they're mad at them, because they did something to them, because they hurt them. So you hurt me, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back and try to hurt you. But it does nothing in return but hurt you. You're walking around here mad, hair falling out, stressed out, don't know what to do with yourself, and they're sleeping well every single night. They're enjoying life. Just a minute, y'all. I think my grandson is crying. Hold on. Okay, y'all. I apologize for that. My daughter had went to the store and the baby was sleeping. We had the monitor on so that we could hear the baby, and I just heard him wake up. So I just had to let them know the baby was up so they would come in and get him. Y'all know how I am about my boos, my grand boos. But they're coming in to get him. So don't want him to get in nothing because he up. But some people, they're walking around here mad at somebody, and sometimes the people don't even know you mad at them. That's the crazy part. Sometimes the people don't even know why you're mad at them. Sometimes it can be something as small as a misunderstanding, and it's led to years of not speaking to one another. It has led to years of not talking to that person. Or maybe this person do know that they wronged you. Maybe they done something so major that there's no way that they could not know that they wronged you. There's no way. But it's still your responsibility to come to that person and tell that person that they hurt you. Tell that person that they hurt you. You want to get to the point in being a better you that you can let all of that mess go. It's just like a fish tank, y'all. If you don't clean the fish tank, what does the water do? It gets dirty. It gets murky. It gets hard to see through. And that's exactly what happens with us and what happens with our heart. If we hold all that mess in, all the times people hurt us, we get dark, we get murky, our heart gets dirty, and there's no love that can come in. There's no peace that can come in. So we're just walking around every single day in misery, but these people over here are just living their best life. But you're upset. You up at night thinking about plotting about what you gonna do and how you gonna get them back. And they laying up sleep. They're laying there sleep. Vengeance is not for you. He actually says in the Bible that vengeance is his. Vengeance is his and he will repay. So if somebody wronged you, take it to him. If somebody wronged you, take it to him. Don't have the mentality of, I got to get them back. I got to let them know what they did to me. I got to show them. Take it to him, because not only did he say vengeance is his and he will repay, he said he'll make your enemies your footstools. So that same person that did you wrong will be the same person that will need a favor from you. They will need something from you because that's the way he sets it up. That's the way he sets it up. But we are able to forgive, then we're able to move on. We're able to remove that dirt and that murk, and we get fresh, clean water, and we just swim and swim and swim like the fish in the tank, and we can enjoy life. Some of us are so stuck in misery because we're so mad at somebody. We're so mad at some situation. We're so mad that things didn't work out for us the way that we thought they would. We're so mad that we didn't have this type of childhood, that we didn't have this type of parent, that this parent was absent or this parent wasn't around. Some of us are so mad that we can't even see the blessings that are right in front of our face because we're so mad and holding on to all that bitterness. We can't see the blessing that's standing right in front of us. So we have to, y'all, it is your responsibility to let it go. It is your responsibility to forgive. And one thing I hate to hear people say is, I forgive you, but I won't forget. True forgiveness means that not only do you forgive me, but you forget it. You let it go. Now listen, I'm not saying let people hurt you and you run back over to them and you continue to be their friend so that they can hurt you again, so that they can harm you again. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you can say to a person, or you can say in your heart, if this is not a person that you can go to or anything, you can in your heart forgive someone. I can forgive them, but I don't have to deal with them. I'm not still mad about that situation because that's what they're going to think. Oh, she don't fool with me. She mad because blah, blah, blah. Nope, I'm not still mad about that situation. I have forgiven you for that situation, but I have learned from that situation. And I know that I need to move differently. You're not moving the way I'm moving, so I'm moving on. That's the way you handle it. It's not, I don't forgive you. I'll forgive you, but I won't forget. Because the Bible says that God forgives us. And when Jesus was asked, how many times are we supposed to forgive somebody? He told us, how many times have I forgiven you? 7 times 70. I mean, infinity. Like, you're supposed to take it and throw it into the sea of forgivingness, forgetfulness, and you're not even supposed to remember that it happened. You're not even supposed to use that against somebody, because a lot of us are doing that. We're using that issue against somebody. But what happens is you're actually using it against yourself. You're actually blocking your blessings. You're actually keeping yourself in misery, and you're missing your peace because you can't let that situation go. Because you can't let it go. Not just vocally or verbally saying, I'm done with it. I mean, in your heart, actually forgiving somebody and letting it go. Each and every one of us sin every single day. We do entirely too much, entirely too much to be generally concerned or worried or mean and hateful to somebody else. We do entirely too much because guess what? We sin every single day. We're human. That's what we do. So when we need forgiveness, God will not forgive you. And I don't know about y'all, but I need for God to forgive me. There are some things that I said today that I need forgiveness for. There are some things that I done today that I need forgiveness for. There are some thoughts that I had because he says, so a man thinketh, so is he. So there are some thoughts that I had that I need to be forgiven for. Have y'all ever just been sitting, I'm talking about in the weirdest place ever, maybe sitting in church, maybe sitting at a wedding or even a funeral, and you get like the darkest, deepest, creepiest thought ever, just vindictive, vicious, and mean and hateful thought pops into your head about somebody. And it's like, ooh, God forgive me for that thought. I literally had to ask for forgiveness for that thought because that's why he tells us to guard our thoughts, because that's where everything starts. We talked about that Monday. Everything starts up here. So if we think it, so is he. If we think it, then that is what it is. If we think it, that's the way we feel about it. Regardless of what comes out of our mouth, that's the way you feel about it in your heart. So that's where forgiveness is. Forgiveness is in your heart. It doesn't matter if you go around saying, oh, I forgive you. It's okay. I love you. If you don't forgive a person in your heart, then God knows. He knows. You can say whatever it is that you want to say. He knows. And then he says to us that if you don't forgive, then I can't forgive. Because forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness is for you so that you can be forgiven. Y'all see the way it works? Forgiveness is for you. It's not for that other person. They have to stand judgment on their own. On their own entirely. Forgiveness is for you. So if you have something that happened to you in childhood, if you didn't have the best parents, if you had an absent parent, if you, whatever the case may be, let it go. Forgive them. Move on from it. I'm not saying you go and be their buddy, you go and be their best friend, but you can in your heart forgive them. Because if you can't in your heart forgive them, you're blocking blessings. There are things right now literally hanging in the air waiting to bless you, but because you have all this murk, all this dirt, and all this extra in your heart, there's no room for blessings. There's no room for blessings. God says that he can't dwell. He can't dwell where there is darkness. There has to be light. You can't see in the dark. That's why people are afraid. I know I am. I'm still afraid of the dark. But that's the reason why you can't see. You can't see in the dark. The dark is not meant for you to be able to see. That's the reason why he said be a light. Because when it's dark, when you enter a room and it's dark, what do? You reach for the light. You turn the light on so you can see exactly what it is that you need to see. Even in my own house, where I know where everything is, still I have to turn the light on because I want to be able to see. I want to be able to make sure that I'm not going to fall or trip over anything that may be in the way. So we have to turn our lights on. We have to turn our lights on because if we are the light, we are there to help people not fall, not trip. Or when they do, we're there to help pick them up, tell them it's okay. You can get back in this race and you can keep it going. So whatever you holding on to tonight, whatever it is, truly take it to your God in prayer. Take it to your God in prayer because somebody has been praying for somebody to get wronged for years now. Oh, I hope her husband leave her. I hope his wife cheat on him. I hope he don't get a new car. I hope he lose his job. You're hoping and wishing and praying on somebody else's downfall. Yeah, maybe they did do something wrong to you. Maybe they did do something wrong to you. But at the end of the day, the only way to correct a wrong is by right. And the only right thing to do is to forgive them in your heart. To forgive them in your heart. He actually tells us that we are to go to that person. But we know that some situations we can't go to that person. But we can. We can write a letter of forgiveness. You can give it to that person, or you can read it out loud and tear it up. If you've had a loved one that passed away and you needed to forgive them for something, you can do that too. You can write a letter. You can go out there to their grave site. You can read that letter and let them know that you forgive them and that you release all that negativity, and then watch your blessings flow. Watch how more peaceful your life gets, because we are blocking those blessings. It's just not room enough in your heart. It's not room enough if you got, just think, if we haven't forgiven people from childhood. I'm 41, I'll be 42. So if I'm holding on to things that happened when I was a child, if I'm holding on to things that happened in my childhood, I got to come all the way up 41 years. Do you know how many people we've met in 41 years, y'all? I'm mad at her from when I was 3. I'm mad at her when we started kindergarten and she used to make fun of me. And I'm mad at her because in 3rd grade, she sat next to this boy. And I'm mad at her because in 5th grade, she was my best friend, but she went out with my boyfriend. I'm telling y'all, those things sound real funny, right? They sound real silly, but you will be surprised at some of the things that people are mad at people over. And have you ever been mad at somebody and forgot what you was mad about? Have you ever been mad at somebody and somebody asked you, why you don't like her? Why you don't like him? And you couldn't even remember? You couldn't even remember why you were mad or why you were upset? Or you say, I think like in 2002, I'm going to say, oh my goodness. Don't let people have that much power over you. Don't let people have that much control over your life. And if you think that they don't have power and they don't have control over you by you not forgiving them, check out your medicine cabinet. Check out your medicine cabinet. Look how many pills you're taking. You got anxiety medicine. You got blood pressure medicine. You got all these other issues that are stress related. Stress related medication you're taking because you stressed out and mad at somebody over something you could have let go of. I'm not saying be foolish and run back under that person, but I'm saying in your heart, forgive them, move on. Move on. You can forgive them and not even deal with them, because the way you move is not the way I move, so I'm going to move on. That's the way I deal with it. I forgive you and I move on from it. I move away from it because that's not the type of energy that I want in my life. Those are not the results. You didn't give me the results that I thought I was going to get being your friend. So being your friend has no positive effect on my life. So because there is no positive effect on my life, I'm moving on. I choose not to be your friend. Not I choose to stay mad and let you have power over me. I choose not to be your friend. I choose to move on. I choose to do differently because I want to better me. Because I want to better me. And the only way I can better me is by starting each day with a clean heart and asking God to remove all that silliness, all that nastiness, all that dirt and grime, and all the things that I have consumed over the years, all the things that I have pre-filled my heart with so that I can accept the things that you are trying to give to me. Because we all know that God is good. We all know that God is good, but God cannot be good to you if you don't let him. He can't be good to you if you don't let him. You're sitting here right now with a blessing hanging in the raptures, waiting for you to receive it as soon as you let that situation go. As soon as you turn that issue loose. As soon as you in your heart forgive that person for whatever it is that they done. Because a lot of times too, y'all, not to make excuses for when anybody do you wrong, but like we said earlier, life didn't come with a guide. Some of us are just, all of us actually are just living. We're just living. And we're living by trial and error. So I'm going to try to see if things work. If it works, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Some people, they don't catch on as quick as others. Sometimes they keep doing the same thing that's actually not working for them. They keep doing the same thing that's actually not working for them. I can testify to that. You know how many diets I've been on? Do you know how many times I woke up and said, it's a new week, it's Monday morning, it's January 1st, my New Year's resolution is to lose some weight, to get healthier, to do better with my eating habits, and after a few days or so, I was right back to the same way, right back to the same eating habits, eating the same bad things, because guess why? Because guess why? Because I just didn't get it. I just didn't get it. Some people just don't get it. It's not our responsibility, or we can't say when a person should get it. We can't say when they should get it. Have you ever seen somebody in a situation and you're just saying, oh my gosh, she needs to get out of that relationship. Why is he still with her? Why is she still with him? They do not treat them right. But is that for us? No. People get tired on their own time. People learn on their own time. And some of us, let's just put it out there, some of us are slow learners. Some of us are slow learners, guys. Some of us in our heart think that we're going to change the situation. And the more, all we have to do is love enough and it'll fix itself. But just like my diets, they failed. And I would just try another one and it would fail. And I try another one, it would fail. The only way for me to do something different, I had to learn to do it differently. I had to practice doing it differently. And that's the way life is. Now, you've been trying all these years to get those blessings, and you only wonder why you can only get so far in life. You can only get so high in life. And you saying, Lord, I'm trying every single day. Why can't I? Why can't I? Why can't I? It's because your blessing is sitting right here. But right here, you have all of this unforgiving spirits. And they are blocking that blessing. That blessing cannot reach you because of those unforgiving spirits. That blessing cannot do what it's intended to do because your heart is so filled with all of that negative energy from not forgiving somebody. Vengeance is not yours. It's not. You're not supposed to go back and get them. You're not. No matter how hard you want to. You really want to, because that's just the human in us, guys. You hurt me, I hurt you. You hit me, I hit you. You make me cry, I make you cry. Some people even go further. You hit me, I hit your mama. Some people take it a step further. They really, really, really want you to learn your lesson. But forgiveness, y'all, I can't talk about it enough because it lifts such a weight off of you. You sleep so effortlessly. You're not up tossing and turning because you're worried and you're stressed and all these extra things that come with not forgiving a person. Forgive them. Sit down today. Write down everyone that you need to forgive. their names, what you need to forgive them for, because this is just for you. Forgiveness is for who? You. Forgiveness is for you. It is for you. And that's the only way you're going to reach your goals in life. That is the only way you're going to reach those goals in life. Just forgiving somebody. Sit down, cry it out, bawl your eyes out until they are bloodshot red. But when you are done, wipe your face because you have forgiven that person and watch your life change. Watch the blessings begin to flow in. Watch the different positive energies that you start to come in contact with once you get rid of that negative. I'm always asking God to clean my heart. I'm always asking God to give me a forgiving spirit, to keep me from being mad and being angry or holding it for years and years and years. I don't want to hold a grudge against someone, even though they done something so terrible to me. I don't want to hold a grudge against them because I know that there's a blessing with my name on it and I want it. I want everything that belongs to me. I'm selfish with my blessings. I want my blessings, y'all. They are for me. I want them. So I'm not going to let anything stand in the way. I'm not going to let anybody have any power over me that's going to keep me from getting what I am rightly was created for me. I deserve it because God said I deserve it. He's giving me grace. He's giving me favor. He is doing for me everything that he said he would. I'm messing it up. I'm messing it up with my spirit. So I'm going to ask that I adapt that spirit of you, Lord, and that you allow me to forgive this person. And then not only do you need to ask to forgive someone, you also need to ask for forgiveness. Because whether you know it or not, boo-boo, you're not perfect. You have done some things that were wrong. You have hurt some people in your past, in your present, and I'm sure you'll do it in the future. But you have hurt some people. You have done some bad things. You need to ask for forgiveness yourself. You running around here mad at somebody else for hurting you, but you done the exact same thing to somebody else. You hurt somebody else also. So what makes you even better? I hate when I see that. I see people talk about people all the time or make fun of people. And then when they're made fun of, it's a big catastrophe. It's World War III. So I've been doing all this bad stuff all these years. I've been losing friendships and hurting people and not asking people to forgive me. But then when the one time somebody hurts me, it is World War III. It is World War 3, 4, 5, and 6 because you hurt me. But there are some things that you need to be forgiven for. So as you're writing on that paper and you're writing down each name that you want to give forgiveness to, think about the things that you've done. Think about the relationship that fell apart. Don't always play the victim because all of us have a part in the relationship. All of us have a part in it. What part did you play? What was your role? What do you need to be forgiven for? What are the things that you need to write down and ask God to forgive you for? Write them down. Say them out loud. Let it manifest. Ask God to truly forgive you for these things. And not only to forgive you for these things, but to keep you from ever doing these things again. And vice versa. Please forgive Sally for what she did to me. And please, God, help her to be a better person and not want to do what she did to me to somebody else. Please forgive me for what I did to Susie. And help me to be a better person and not want to do what I did to Susie to anybody else. Because there just comes a time in life, y'all, when you got to be real with self. You got to be honest with self. You can dress up and get all dolled up and put on your best look and pretend like you're perfect. But you know, and I know that you have some secrets. We all have skeletons in that closet. And all of them ain't skeletons. Some of them still got meat, skin, hair, and teeth. Some of them ain't all skeletons. Some of us are currently doing something that we know not to do. Currently doing something that we know, if found out, it would hurt another person. But you worried about what Susie did to you. So don't be that person. Don't hurt people because you're hurt. Because hurt people hurt people. And the only way to not be a hurtful person is to get rid of all that hurt. You can't help but to hurt if you're filled with hurt, because what's in you is going to come out of you eventually. Whatever's in you is going to come out of you eventually. And if you got nastiness and dirtiness and hurt and evil and all that nasty, dirty stuff inside of you, guess what's going to exude from you? Nastiness, evilness, negativity, all that stuff is going to come out of you one way or another, because our bodies aren't built to keep things in. That's the reason why we have exits. Exits. You know the other ones. It's going to come out one way or another. So what do you have inside of you? What do you have inside of you? Is there negativeness that needs to be gone? Is there uncleanliness that needs to be gone? Are there dirty minds and dirty thoughts? Whatever it is, write it down. Say, God, I have this lustful thought about this married man. God, I have this lustful thought about this married woman. I need to get rid of it. I need that to come out of me. Because I'm telling y'all, there are blessings on top of blessings on top of blessings just waiting. Just waiting. Every single day we're complaining about something that we're about to be blessed with, but we don't even realize that that blessing is just waiting on us to get it right. He's just waiting on us to get it right. He's just waiting on us to remove some of that mess so he can come in with the bless. That's just the way it go. Who puts new furniture in a dirty house? What do? When you know you got some new furniture doing, new furniture coming, what do? You clear it out, don't you? You clear out all the old furniture, all the dirt. You want to sweep it up. You want to clean and shampoo your carpet. You want to make sure everything is nice and clean so that you can get your new. That's what we want to do tonight. We want to clear it out. We want to forgive whatever it is that is holding us or keeping us from getting our new. Clean all that old furniture out. And whatever's keeping us from getting our new furniture, we want to get rid of that. We want to ask God right now. And I say, Lord, please let me inhabit the fruit of your spirit. I want your spirits, Lord. Because I know those things are good. Because I know that you were perfect, and I know that I'll never be perfect. But for the things that I can do, I want to do. I want to be a better me. And that's where it starts, y'all. In being a better you is just the desire to be. But we can't sit on desire. We can't live at desire. You have to want it. Then you have to go get it. We talked about faith without works is dead. You can have faith in God all day long. But if you don't get up and go put an application in, you're not going to get a job. It's just the way it works. Even if you know somebody who works there, they can put in a good word for you. But if you don't get up and do the footwork, you don't go and put in application, you don't get the job. That's just the way the world works, y'all. Y'all know it. So if faith without works is dead, then what do y'all think all this evilness in your heart is? Y'all ready for y'all blessing? I'm ready to get mine. I'm ready to get mine. I don't want nothing to hold me back. I don't want nothing to keep me from being my best me. Because that living my best life is nothing compared to being the best me. Because being my best me, oh, I can only imagine. Do y'all ever just think about the prettiest place you've ever seen? Maybe in a book. Maybe you went there. But the prettiest place you've ever seen. Can you just imagine yourself in that place? Can you just imagine the peace you would have? I often say, I want to go visit and see the Black Sands or St. Lucia or Bali, all these beautiful, beautiful places. I could just see myself walking on the beach with a drink in my hand with a little umbrella on the cup, just enjoying myself. You can't enjoy you if you're not your best you, or if you're not in a continual state of being your best you, because we can always be better. We can always be better. We're never going to be at our best, because when we do, then it's time to go on to glory. And we're going to be over in glory at our best. But you can continue to strive to be a better you. If you've messed up, if you've done wrong, if you made some mistakes, this is your opportunity right now while the blood is running warm in your veins. There is breath. Your organs are working. This is your opportunity to ask for forgiveness. And guess what? If they tell you to get out their face, get off their phone, quit texting them, if they block you, if they never, ever, ever have anything else to do with you, that's okay. Because forgiveness is for who? For us. Forgiveness is for us. It's not for them. It's for us. And long as you know that in your heart, you truly meant what you said, you truly, truly wanted to be forgiven, you are forgiven. God has forgiven you. And that's more important than anybody. That's more important than anybody. I had issues growing up. Y'all saw a little piece of it on my story. Issues growing up. Wonder why, I didn't live in a 2-parent home. My best friend did. She lived in a 2-parent home. She had her mom and her dad. And I used to be envious of the fact that she had her mom and her dad because she used to misbehave. And I say, why do you misbehave? Like you have your mom and you have your dad and you have siblings, because I have a brother, but I've always wanted a sister too. And, I was like, you got a sister and brothers? You got mom, you got dad. Like you got the best of both worlds, You got everything that I want. But it didn't change anything. It didn't change anything because her issues were still her issues. It didn't make a difference. It was not for me to be mad at my parent that wasn't able to be a part of my life. For whatever reason. I don't care. I've forgiven. I have forgiven. Because forgiveness was not for him. Forgiveness was for me. And I can't be blessed holding on to mess. I cannot. And I truly have forgiven. I don't care what kept you away, why you stayed away. All I know is that it had nothing to do with me. It had nothing to do with me. And a lot of us are holding on to these issues that had nothing to do with you. They had nothing to do with you. These people had their own issues before you came along. They had their own issues before you came along. You were just a victim of circumstance. Let it go. Let it go. It is far greater to love, y'all. It feels better to love. I am not mad. I will hug that man as though I saw him every single day. And I honestly mean that. I am not mad because I don't want God mad at me. I do too much. There are things that I've done that I need to ask forgiveness for. There are things that I've done today that I have to ask forgiveness for. Thoughts that I had. Ways that I acted that was not of him. So if there are things that I do that I need to be forgiven for, then why would I not forgive someone else? If I don't act the way accordingly, if everything that I do is not of God, then why do I expect different from someone else? Love is the greatest commandment. Love. And I'm telling you, when they say it conquers all, y'all, it conquers all. You can literally sleep. You can literally rest. You're not stressed out, walking around here, hair falling out and upset and just taking all kind of medications. And, because stress can physically make you sick. There will not be, the doctor won't be able to even diagnose you with a problem. He'll be saying, I don't know what's going on with you. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with you. But you're doing it to yourself. You are stressing yourself out to the point that physically you have become sick. Because you're still mad about something that you can't change. Because you still haven't forgiven somebody for something that they did, something that they said, for whatever the case may be. Forgive them. Move forward. You don't have to forgive them and still deal with them. Forgive them. You can deal with them from a distance. You can choose whether or not to have that person in your life again. That's for you. But you can forgive them. You can forgive them so that you can have a peace. And that's the most important thing in the world is peace. When you find that peace that surpasses all understanding. And when I say that, I mean that peace that people look at you and say, shouldn't she be in the mental hospital by now? Shouldn't she be broken down? Shouldn't she be out of her mind crazy? That's peace that surpasses all understanding. Because people won't understand how you can still have a smile on your face because they know a little piece of your story. People won't understand how you can still love somebody, how you can still forgive somebody who has done this XYZ to you because they know just a little bit about you. People won't understand it, but that's that peace because it surpasses all understanding. It ain't for them to understand. Forgiveness is for you. Go and get your blessing and quit blocking it. You out here sitting here thinking that God is just blessing other people all the way around you when your blessing is just sitting within reach, but you can't get it because you got all this mess. Let that mess go. Go get your blessing. Watch your life change. Sit back and watch God change things. Sit back and watch him do things differently. You'll just start to wonder like, what? How did that happen? Sunday, we were just talking about insurance and what I'm going through so I can get my surgery because the insurance won't let me go. So today I got a call from, yesterday I got a call from the insurance company. And y'all know I have been fighting with these people for a while now, like for a month. fighting with them vigorously to the point where I'm writing a letter like, let me go, and they don't want to turn me loose. I was able to speak with a lady, and she was able to give me some healthy tips on how to disenroll from this insurance and re-enroll in this insurance that the doctor does accept. She was able to give me some of that knowledge. And I truly believe that the only way, because I done talked to several different people. I've talked to several different case managers. I've talked to supervisors. I've talked to everybody I know to talk to. But until I truly said, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it no more. I'm not going to let it stress me. I know that everything is done in your timing, God, and I know that you're going to handle it accordingly. So I'm going to let you do what you do. When I let him do it, he begins to work it out. He starts to open up the windows because the doors are locked. And y'all know there are no more windows in a house, right? So you really want the windows open so that you can receive those blessings. Because with the windows open, they're going to be coming from every direction. You ain't going to be able to understand these blessings. Like, what? Where did this come from? Y'all, this lady literally said, when I wrote my letter, I didn't put my phone number on there. I just put my name and my mailing information. She could have sent me a letter in the mail and said XYZ, blah, blah, blah. This lady went above and beyond. She went and looked up my name and said, you're the only Tammy in Wichita County. You're the only Tammy Patton in Wichita County. And she called me. That's the way she got my phone number. She went above and beyond her job to look me up, to find me. I just so happened to be the only Tammy Patton in Wichita County. And she called me and she was like, is this Tammy? And I was like, yes. I had no idea who it was. And she was like, oh, I'm such and such calling from such and such insurance. And we received a letter from you a couple of weeks ago saying that you are trying to unenroll. And I said, oh my God. Because every day I've been waiting on a letter from them because I was told that once I write a letter, they'll return their response in letter form to me. And we're just going to have to keep writing back and forth. This lady called me. This lady went above and beyond to find me, to call me. So when you give it to him and tell him to do things in his timing, he opens up the windows. Forgive that person. I'm telling you, the forgiveness is for you. Go get your blessing, sis. Go get your blessing, bruh. Forgive that person. Don't keep giving them that power so that they can block that blessing on you. Don't keep giving them that power to keep you from getting what is truly created and designed and destined to be yours. Go get it. Mary said it. Go get your blessing. Mary said it. Go get it. And I'm saying it tonight. Go get it. Forget about vengeance. God said vengeance is his and he will repay. So guess what? Some people, it may seem like they got by, but they didn't get away because we all have to face judgment. So if they did something to you in the long run, people like to talk about karma. You better believe it comes full circle. But one thing you got to remember about karma is you don't have to know what happened. See, I'm that type of person. When you do something wrong to me, I want to go to God and pray about it, but then I want to see it happen to you. I want to see something, I don't want to say bad, but I want to see the karma. I want a tangible exert of the karma. I got to see it happen to you. But that's not for you. That's not for you. He said vengeance is his and he will repay. So it's up to God how he decides to repay. It's up to God how he sends it back to him. But you ain't got to be sitting and waiting. Like, oh yeah, I'm just waiting for his car to get broke in. Yeah, I'm just waiting for his house to get broke in. I'm waiting for him to get sick because that's going to be his punishment. No. You give it to God and you move away from it. You let it go and you leave it alone. And even if you never find out what has happened to that person, that ain't for you. God handles accordingly. God deals with it accordingly. But you watch your life start to change. You watch you start to flourish. You watch the blessings that are sitting directly in front of you with your name on it start to come to you. They start to come to you. Forget that person. I promise you, forgive them. Forgive them. Because some of them don't even know that they did anything wrong, y'all. Some people walking around here mad and they don't even know that they're mad at them. They don't even realize they did anything wrong because some things we do out of habit. Some things are learned behaviors. So some way we conduct ourselves is because that's the way we were always taught to conduct ourselves. And so we acted this way because I thought that's the way I was supposed to act. And I didn't know I hurt you, baby girl, because you never said anything. But forgive them. Write it down. Write their name. Write what you need to forgive them for. But don't forget that a paper has two sides for a reason. Flip that paper over. Write down everybody you can think of that you have wronged, that you need forgiveness for. Anything that you've done, any way that you've acted, anything that you could have done that could have caused someone to go astray. Ask God to forgive you for it and truly not want to do it again to somebody else. You can be forgiven, but you have to forgive. You can expect God to forgive you for your wrongs, but you holding grudges. That ain't the way he operates. You holding all these grudges way back from third grade. You mad at this girl because she knew you was gonna go with him to the dance. You was gonna go with him, and now she go with him to the dance, and she always thought she was so cute. You mad about all that stuff way back from elementary. Folks got kids and grandkids and great grandkids, and they still mad about something that happened in elementary. Now, we know there are some things that happen in our life that are hard to let go of. I'm not just talking about petty little stuff like somebody said something about me, somebody lied on me. I'm talking about all kind of things, rape and molestation and abuse of some sort. So, Tammy, you're sitting here telling me to let it go when somebody violated me, when somebody took my innocence, when somebody abused me, when I was unable to defend myself. It's easy for you to sit there, Tammy, and say, let it go, turn it loose, because it didn't happen to you. Because it didn't happen to you. Had you been violated, had somebody took your innocence, you wouldn't be so quick to forgive either. Yes, I would. I'm telling y'all. It may have taken years. It may have taken years, y'all. But you, for your peace, for your sanctity, for your blessings, gotta forgive. Move away from it. I ain't saying you gotta go to the family reunion and stare them in the eye, knowing what they done to you. But what you can do is forgive them. You can say, I've truly forgiven this person. Because when I forgive that person, they no longer have control over me. They no longer have that piece of power that they've been holding on to. They can no longer keep me awake at night. I was into it with this girl, y'all. We was into it tough. And I'm not talking about just into it over something silly. We was into it. Into it. I did some things to her because I was mad. She did something to me, so I turned around and did something to her. And then she turned around and did something to me, so I turned around and did something back to her. And it was just kind of ping-ponging, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But I said, now, what do you gain out of this, Tammy? What are you gaining out of this? Like, do you really think that she cares that you're mad at her? Do you really think that it's going to make her have a bad day because somebody told her that Tammy's upset with her? You really think you have that much influence over somebody that they just going to stay up at night because you mad? Who are you? That's why I say sometimes you just got to be real with self. You know better. You knew better when you did it. But you expect God to bless you. You praying every single day for God to bless you, for him to give you grace and mercy, for him to protect you and keep you, but you over here doing evil. You over here holding on to all this dirt and this murk and all this evilness and negativity. And you keeping mess and confusion are going, but you praying every single day for blessings. Huh? Where they do that at? You praying God bless you and keep you in good health, but you down talking the next person. Every chance you get, you saying something negative. You're dragging somebody's reputation. You know, that's some of the, y'all know that there are 7 things that God hates. He doesn't like that. That when your feet are swift to run to discord, when you are quick to keep up confusion, you pot stirs. You know, you ain't directly in the mess, but you keeping it going. You making sure you season it so that when they eat it, they taste your seasoning. They get all that mess, all that good old mess. But then you got the people who throw the rocks and hide their hands. Y'all know. Because some of us are those people. Throw the rock and hide your hand. Nobody ever see you coming. Nobody ever heard that you said anything. But you still keeping it a going. Discord. You're sowing discord. God is not pleased with that. And he said, blessed are the peacemakers. They're going to inherit the earth. Not those that sow discord. So I had to keep it real with self. And I said, really? Now you over here praying that for blessings, but you over here doing get backs and doing evil stuff and trying to play tit for tat. God ain't a tit for tat type person. If he was a tit for tat type person, none of us would be here. Not a one of us. Because each and every one of us are nothing but filthy rags. He ain't finna play get back. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to play get back. He holds all the power. He's the only one who cheated. Y'all talking about y'all cheated death? He didn't have to cheat it. He made it behave. He made it get on about its business. He made death lie down. He called death a lie to its face when he rose. So all this get back, tit for tat, she hit me, I hit her, he told a tale on me, I tell a tale on him. Come on. That's just childish. That's just childish. And it's really just a waste of time, y'all. Let's go get our blessing. Let's forgive those. If they don't have the courage, because it takes courage to ask for forgiveness. When I did what I did and I got real with self and said, Tammy, you know better. You know better to be doing this. I went to that lady. She refused to talk to me. But I went to that lady to ask for forgiveness for what I had done. She refused to talk to me, but guess what? We can't make a person forgive us. But it don't matter anyway, does it? If she never forgives me, I've done what I was required to do because forgiveness is for me. I've asked God to forgive me. I even reached out and wanted to ask her to forgive me. But you can't make that person forgive you because everybody has stuff on their own time, you know. And she may have already forgiven me. She may have already forgiven me. She don't gotta talk to me. She don't have to deal with me. She could have forgiven me and just moved on and said, I don't want to deal with her. I don't want to have no dealings with her. I don't have to talk to her. We ain't got to swing our arms and sing kumbaya. And that's not what forgiveness is, y'all. That ain't what forgiveness is. That's truly being regretful. True repentance means that you don't turn around and do the same actions. Some of y'all out here asking for forgiveness and then doing it again. You ain't asking for forgiveness. You're not sorry. You may be sorry you got caught doing it or somebody found out about it. But if you're truly sorry, true repentance, you turn away from it and you don't keep doing it. For those of you who are plant lovers and who are animal lovers, if you are a plant or an animal lover, you're not going to hurt them. You're not going to harm them. You're going to feed your cat or your dog. You're going to water your plants. People even talk to their plants. They say it helps them grow. People even talk to them and call them babies. I know I talk to my animals all the time. I may bump into them. I'll be like, "Ooh, excuse me, Lily." I step on them. "Oh, I'm sorry, Bobo." Like they just really know. So anything that you love, you're going to nourish, you're going to protect, you're going to keep. So love yourself. Love yourself enough to protect, to nourish, to grow into a better you. Some of y'all out there letting these artists get in your head and yeah, I love me. I love myself. Do you? Do you really? Because if you love yourself, there's just some things you don't partake in. If you love yourself, then you're constantly in a state of trying to be a better you. So yes, you may see me doing something wrong. You're going to because I'm human. I'm not going to ever be without sin. But just know that I'm in a state of getting it together. Be patient. Be patient because God is not through. When God is through with us and we're perfect, we're going to be on the other side. We're going to be on the other side when he's done with us and we're perfect. But forgiveness is for you. That's it. That's all I can say, y'all. Forgiveness is for you. If there's anything that you've been wondering, anybody that you need to forgive, anything that you need to be asked of forgiveness, if you don't have the courage or if you feel like that person is not going to be receptive of it, because you never know. You honestly never know how a person is going to feel. You never know. They may receive it. But they may not receive it. But God doesn't say anything about whether or not they receive it. The reason why is because it ain't for them. It's for you. And I can't say that enough. Forgiveness is for you. Homework. Write down everybody that you need to forgive. Whatever they done to you, write it down. Turn your paper over. Anything that you done to somebody, anything you need to be forgiven for, write it down and quit playing. Because y'all know it's some stuff that you done that don't nobody know you done but God. Write that down on that paper. Put that down on that paper. It's some stuff you doing right now that you need to be forgiven for that don't nobody know but God. Put that down on that paper. Quit playing. Put that down on that paper. Burn the paper. Tear the paper into shreds. Read it out loud. Profess to God that you want to be forgiven, that you want to be clean, that you want to do things differently. You want to live and be a better you. Watch him work. Watch him work. Watch him do wonders that you can't understand. Watch him do the multitude won't be able to understand what's going on with you. Watch him. Watch him work, y'all. Ask somebody for forgiveness. Ask God for forgiveness. Because that's the most important. He's the most important. Once he forgives you, it's done. It's said and it's done. So whether that lady never ever forgives me, it's said and done. Because God has. And because he has forgiven me, I don't slap him in the face and go do it again. I don't laugh and say, "Ha, my God is a forgiving God. Huh, next time I'll do it again." No. I truly live differently. I want to live better. I want to be a better me. when we all want to be a better us. So in order to be a better us, Sunday we talked about being nicer and being kinder to people. Monday, what do we talk about Monday? About being somebody's peace, being more motivating. And today we talking about forgiving and not taking vengeance into our hands so that we can be a better us. Being a better us is the goal. Being a better us. So you may be getting it together physically like I am, but it doesn't matter if I get skinny as a twig if my heart ain't right. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. So you may be getting it together physically, but you need to get it together mentally, emotionally, spiritually, socially. You need all of those aspects to be a better you. It don't just stop at one. It starts with one, but it don't just stop at one. And once you get off into that spiritual aspect, things just start to unfold. Stuff just start making sense. And you just start to realize that I got a lot of stuff I need to get rid of. It's like packing for a trip. You packing for a trip, you got a suitcase, and if you have all of the stuff that you took on the last trip, your new stuff ain't gonna fit in that suitcase. You got all this stuff that you took on the last trip. You took the last trip, you went to Colorado when it was snowing. Now you going to the beach. What do you need with a jacket? What do you need with a coat? What do you need with gloves and a hat? You got to remove all of that stuff so that you can get your beach gear on. You ain't got room for your swim trunks. So let's make sure that in this life, on this trip called life, that we are packing good things. That what's in your suitcase? What's in your travel bag? What are you taking along with you on this trip called life? That's it for tonight. I love y'all. And I just want y'all to know that forgiveness is for you. I will see you guys Sunday. And we will have a new topic and a new discussion week. Bye-bye.